Cold meds and decongestants, and the FDA just signaled that it may be taking some of your go-to decongestants off the shelf this fall just in time for cold and flu season. But you've got things to do and people to take care of. I'm Dr. Daria. I'm an emergency room doctor, and let's talk about this headline and how to keep you from being a congested, snotty mess this fall, regardless of what happens with it. What happened? We're talking about this ingredient, phenylephrine, which is pretty much the go-to decongestant ingredient in most over-the-counter cold and cough formulations. But now it's everywhere in the news too for being basically ineffective. The FDA advisory panel voted that it's no more effective than placebo, and they'll decide soon whether to pull it off the shelves. A little background, pseudoephedrine used to be the go-to decongestant ingredient, but little inconvenient, people were using it to make meth. Yeah, like Breaking Bad. And so in 2006, it was pulled and put behind the pharmacist counter and replaced in most formulations with phenylephrine. But problem with that is that phenylephrine isn't as effective as pseudoephedrine. I even wrote about that in a blog post over a decade ago. But why now? So for the last 15 years, several pharmaceutical companies have been studying phenylephrine basically to make new products. But in the process, they found that it's essentially no more effective than placebo, and it probably doesn't even last as long as 4 hours. That's when the FDA advisory panel got wind of it and made this new statement. Why? To put it simply, when phenylephrine is taken orally, it doesn't reach your nose in the current standard dosages enough to have an impact. Can you keep taking phenylephrine if it works for you? For now, yes. Remember, this isn't so much of a safety issue. Of course, every medication has risks, and in this case, the advisory panel determined that the risks and side effects of phenylephrine outweighed any potential benefit, if there is any at all. But if you think that phenylephrine works for you, or you're someone who cannot take pseudoephedrine, then I wouldn't stress about it. And while it's still available on the market, it's okay for you to keep taking it. That said, here are some alternatives that you can use. For decongestants, you can still take pseudoephedrine, which you can get behind the pharmacist counter, or you can take something like a second generation antihistamine, like Zyrtec or Claritin. You can also do local therapies in your nose, like saline rinses, which can be very effective, neti pods, or decongestant sprays like Afrin. So there you have it. You don't have to rush and throw out anything you have with phenylephrine. If it's working for you, keep taking it. But if it's never been that effective for you, now you know why, and you can try one of these alternatives. Check out the link below to get my quick guide for cold and coughs to keep you feeling better this cold and flu season.